Attention getters are very important for a speech because they get the audience's attention and pulls them into the speech. A conclusion is very important for a speech also because it wraps up the entire speech and all the information that has been talked about. These two parts are also very important for a TV show as well, more so the attention getter and introduction than the conclusion though. If a TV show has a very boring and bland storyline, then your audience is more likely to turn the TV show off and find something with a better introduction because since they're not interested right off the bat, what makes them think that the rest of the show is going to be interesting? So it's very important for a TV show and a speech to have a good, strong introduction. That way your viewers or listeners are interested from the very beginning instead of having to wait until maybe the middle to see that, oh wait, this show could be good, I just have to wait and see. You're more likely to have viewers and listeners if you start off strong. One Tree Hill has a very interesting beginning and immediately has the audience hooked and wanting to see more and what it's all about. This show is very dramatic and deals a lot with family issues and relationship problems and friendship problems and life in general, so it's very relatable, which I think makes it even more popular. The beginning especially has a very strong start. It starts off with showing a few of the main characters, but they do this without telling you who they are. It's just scenes of each of the characters. There are 3 in the very, very beginning of the first episode. Lucas Scott is dribbling a basketball around town, which is something that he does all the time. Peyton Sawyer is the next one shown. She's driving her car, blaring her music, which is also common for her. She is very obsessed with her music in the TV show, and that's sort of her safe place. And then it shows Nathan Scott and the rest of the Tree Hill Ravens playing a basketball game in the field house at the high school. Later in the first episode, they show you how each character is connected and sort of the main plot of the show. Lucas and Nathan are brothers. They have the same dad, and they're in the same grade. They're the same age, but their father chose to father Nathan and abandon Lucas. So Lucas only grew up with his mom and not really his dad ever being there, while Nathan has both of his parents. They have to start interacting because Lucas joins the high school basketball team, which Nathan is obviously on, so they have to get along, but it starts off pretty rocky. They don't get along at all, and so they have to sort of work through that. The first episode, it has a lot of information and it shows a lot about each of the characters and who they are, so it does a good job of introducing everybody in the show. And I think not just with the first episode, but with all of the episodes, they have a very strong beginning to each one. So I think they do a pretty good job at that. Conclusions for the episodes, they do somewhat resolve in the end, but they also kind of leave you hanging with a cliffhanger of what's going to happen in the next episode. So it kind of continues because if not, then they wouldn't have anything to do. But that's the same with the speech. I mean, a speech wraps it all up, but they still have to have a strong introduction or your listeners aren't going to want to listen. So without that strong introduction, audience members, they tend to lose interest and they don't want to pay attention to what the speaker is talking about or what the TV show is about. So it's very important to have a good introduction and also conclusion. Preparing a speech and making a TV show are very much connected in the sense that writers of a TV show tend to write the episodes in the same manner that people developing speeches write theirs. They start off with the outline and then they have the introduction, the body or the plot of what's going to happen, and then the conclusion. I think watching a well-written, interesting TV show can aid a person who's trying to write a well-written speech because you can kind of see how a good TV show compared to a bad TV show, how they're written and how the writers do things. So I think watching that would help a person write a speech. And I think the main thing is just making sure that you have a very strong introduction because that's what sets the tone for the rest of the episode or the speech, is seeing that this is strong, so you grab the attention of your audience, and if not, then you're not going to. So that's how I think One Tree Hill kind of helps one see that you do need that strong introduction to set the show.